Maestro Cheknavoryan, what is your impressions from the Sofia Philharmonic Orchestra after the first rehearsal with orchestra?
You know, what I loved the most during the rehearsal was the spirit. It was very, as we say in Vienna, gemütlich. It was very relaxed and just pure music making. I enjoyed it very much.
Please tell us about the piece that you will perform. Violin Concerto by Mendelssohn Bartholdy, most of the famous concertos of violin literature.
Well, the Violin Concerto in E minor of Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy is just a piece of genius. It's just the greatest work maybe for violin. It's so ideal. You know, you have works by Brahms or Beethoven, they are rather symphonic, and then Sibelius is physically very difficult. Tchaikovsky, the velocity and the technique, you have to have very another kind of technique for Tchaikovsky. But Mendelssohn, you have everything. You have the poetic side, you have the virtuosity, molto appassionato at the beginning, and you don't have to wait 3 minutes to start the piece. It's just ideal piece of work, and the more I play it, the more I love it, and it is famous for, because of many reasons. Yes.
Tell us about you and your journey with the music. You are born in a music family. Your father is famous composer and conductor Loris Cheknavoryan. You start playing the violin at a very young age.
I grew up with music. I attended the first concert, the first classical concert when I was probably 1 month old, and I loved it. I remember, of course, not that concert, but many concerts in my childhood had such a strong impact and were so inspiring. So music became my life already very early. I never thought of doing anything else. I also now, sometimes the life of a musician is not so easy, of course, as we all know, but still there is nothing that I love more than making music and music. So I was glad to have my parents as musicians. My mother practiced with me a lot when I was a kid, so I'm thankful for that. My father became eventually my conducting teacher. I learned from him the craftsmanship. What else can I say about myself? I was very lucky to have great teachers. I started in Armenia. We moved back to Armenia in the year 2000, actually, 2001. And I lived there for 4 years, and I started playing the violin there. And then we moved back to Vienna, where I was born. Also there, I was so fortunate to have great teachers. And actually, it's great to be in Bulgaria, in this city, in Sofia, because I so strongly feel both the West and the East. So it's such a perfect mix. It's such it's in a great balance, and this is what I feel in my musical education. I got to know the Russian way of playing, the Soviet art of violin playing, and then having also teachers in Austria, I got to know the Western tradition. So I think to be balanced and to know both worlds is quite useful.
Who was your most important teacher, and what did you learn from him?
Well, I studied with Professor Gerhard Schulz for almost 10 years, from 2011 actually. Well, I never stopped having lessons. I mean, I started traveling and not being in Vienna regularly, so that's why now I don't have lessons, but we talk a lot on phone, and I learned so much from him. He was his influence is still very big. But I also have to name my other teachers in Armenia, Petros Haikazyan, who was such a gentleman and had such a great spirit. He loved children and he gave this love to all those kids who start to play the violin. And then I had Artashes Makarchan, also an Armenian fabulous violinist, great violinist. And in Vienna, my first teacher in Vienna was then Arkady Vinokurov, who sadly passed away last year. Such a tragedy for me. I lost such a friend and mentor. Yeah, I was lucky to have those four main teachers.
You are winner at the Brahms, Goldberg, Chrysler and Sibelius international violin competitions. Are competitions necessary for building the musician?
You know, competitions are important to get attention. So when you win a competition or you become a prize winner at a competition, then you get attention. I mean, nowadays you have live streams, everyone can hear you, everyone can see you. So that's a benefit. Competitions are good because you prepare in a different way. You are very focused and you build up a repertoire and you practice. So those are maybe the positive sides of competitions, but I'm more than happy that I stopped my so-called competition career when I was already 20, because I mean, music is so it's a matter of taste. It's so subjective. What is good and what is bad. So you have to have luck. You have to be very well prepared. But at the end, sometimes jury decisions can be just crazy. Yeah. But still, competitions. I mean, there is no. It's very difficult to build a path as a musician, a career without competitions.
What is the most pleasant thing in your profession, and how do you achieve this unique sound of your instrument?
I think the most beautiful aspect of making music is that you have a possibility to communicate on a very spiritual level. So you don't need words to express your feelings, but you can use music and a sound to tell a story, to share your emotions. That's beautiful. For that you need to have a very good technique. You have to master your instrument, but once you reach a certain level, then it's beautiful. You know, you just play and you transmit something. About the sound, I mean, I'm blessed. I'm lucky to have a wonderful instrument made by Antonio Stradivarius in 1698. It's a piece of art, I would say. It's incredible. Every time I open the case and I see an instrument which actually could be also in a museum, but I'm allowed to play it every day. It's a gift. I'm very privileged. The instrument inspires you to produce the most beautiful sound you can, the most personal, the most soulful sound you can. It's a challenge, but a beautiful one. And when I think now about, you know, I wouldn't say my second passion, but my I don't know to say my first passion, or my other passion, let's say my other passion, the conducting, is different, because as a conductor you don't produce a sound, but still sound is the most important thing in music, I would say. So it's I would say rather intriguing to have, one day produce a sound yourself and the other day to try to get what the composer wanted in the score. If it's written dolce, then to get the dolce with your hands or with your being. Yeah, it's a lifelong process to achieve beautiful sound making.
Your father, Loris Cheknavoryan, is a well-known conductor and composer. Is he still help you with advice?
Well, I talk to my father, to my parents actually every day, sometimes 3 times a day. We talk a lot, but not about music in a concrete way. So I don't call him and ask, "Oh, Daddy, would you conduct this in 1 or 3?" To be technical. But we talk about the profession and about the life of a conductor, so about the psychological aspects, and of course, with his wisdom, with his experience, he has a lot to say.
And you are appointed in Vienna Musikverein artist in residence.
Yes.
If you had to make a choice today, what would you choose, violin or baton?
Well, I made the decision already, and it felt quite easy, I would say. I decided to focus on conducting from September of this year. It's not a decision against the violin. Oh my God, I love playing the violin so much, and I will continue to play. Also for myself, how beautiful it is to just open the case and play for yourself. That's very meaningful, and I will continue doing that. But still, you cannot believe in 2 gods. That's why I made this decision. I'm going to focus on conducting. Maybe, once I have the repertoire, establish myself as a conductor, then maybe I can do both. Let's see what the future will bring.
What else do you want to achieve? Where do you see yourself in a year, in 5 years, or even in 10 years?
Oh, I got this question some days ago, and I said I want to, in 10 years, I would still like to wake up with sunshine and birds singing. I just want to be fulfilled, and also happy might be a primitive word, but a beautiful one, and it's the goal of every human being to be fulfilled and happy. And if music makes me happy and is fulfilling, then now I hope it will be also in 5 or 10 years.
Is there anything else that you are passionate about besides music?
Well, music is of course as I said, my life, and then there's a big gap. And after that, I must say I'm quite interested in everything. Of course, art, cinema, sports, politics, history, architecture. So you see, it's music, the main thing, but then when I have time, I'm just interested in what is there in life and on this planet Earth.